It is schedule prediction season. Let's take a look at the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and we're going to go ahead and predict their win-loss total at the end of 2023. Before we do that, though, we got to take an overarching look at this team. And I'll just say this, man, I love the way this team is built. I love the way this team is built because you look at facets of Notre Dame, and they have pieces that will travel. Like the things that they're going to do well are going to play well in any environment. Loud, whether it's snow, whether you're playing at, like it doesn't matter, you're playing at home. Like you hear what I'm saying. For Notre Dame, they do a couple of things that I think are going to be reliable throughout the course of the year, and that is run the football. They bring back a majority of what they had a season ago. They got a tough offensive line, and they ran for almost 190 yards a game last year. A lot of those cats are back. They're going to run the ball well. The other piece, they're going to play good defense. They bring back 72% of the production from a season ago on defense that only allowed 23 points a game. That's really good. That's going to win you a whole lot of football games. Jordan Botelho, I say it every single time we talk about Notre Dame on this channel because I want to make sure that we are on the record as much as it gets for saying that kid's going to be a stud in 2023. I know you lose Isaiah Foskey. Nobody likes to lose Isaiah Foskey, but Jordan Botelho, I think, is going to pick up where he left off, and I think a lot of people nationally are going to know about it. So to kind of put a bow on this thing, Notre Dame's going to be a physical football team. It's going to be a physical football team, and physical football teams control the line of scrimmage. Teams that control the line of scrimmage, they usually win a lot of games. So that's the first part. But keep in mind, that's not where it ends for Notre Dame. That's not where the excitement ends for Notre Dame. We'll talk about that in a second. Make sure you're subscribed right here. We talk college football every single day. You love this sport. We love this sport. Make sure you're locked in. We don't want you to miss anything. We got less than 100 days. All right, so make sure you're locked in right here. Also, follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram, @JDPicKell. Thank you in advance for that. So, like I was saying, doesn't end there. The physicality piece is nice. You're excited about that, but you added Sam Hartman. Marcus Freeman said, yeah, we got our starting quarterback coming back in Tyler Buckner, who started game one. But listen, we want to play for some things here at Notre Dame. We want to do something here at Notre Dame. I want to make sure we have a chance to compete for a college football playoff berth at Notre Dame. So you added Sam Hartman. That does two things. The first of which being it gives you the opportunity to add some balance to that physicality. I say it a lot in terms of ways that you can win football games. The more ways that you have to beat teams, just overall, the more dangerous you are week in and week out. You're going to be physical. Yeah, you're going to try and punch them in the mouth, and you're going to try and just make these teams submit by your physicality. But now adding Sam Hartman, you got a little finesse. Add a chance to hurt you with the aerial game. And when you're balanced football teams have a chance to do exciting things. I mean, that was kind of the next evolution for a couple of teams we saw last year play in the college football playoff. For the majority of the season, we were talking a lot about Georgia, a lot about Michigan. Both those teams we know have that physical MO, and they're going to be the team that controls the line of scrimmage and pushes you around. But when they took that next step was when they added something vertically. Stetson Bennett, he progressed a lot. Georgia won another national title. J.J. McCarthy, starting quarterback at Michigan, have a chance to compete for a national title this coming season. So that's the first piece. You add the opportunity to be more balanced. Balance is always a good thing. The other side of this, and I alluded to it a little bit, was you added some more expectations. You invited more pressure on your football team. And I think for Notre Dame fans, this fires you up because you look at Marcus Freeman and you say, okay, I have a better sense for what you're about. I have a better sense for what you're about because you could have been content to just play Tyler Buckner. And Marcus Freeman, no knock on Tyler Buckner, believed that he had a chance to improve his roster through the portal, went out and got it. And they won 9 games a year ago, did Notre Dame. Like there was nothing pressing or forcing them to go out and get better at the quarterback position. If Notre Dame rolls into this year with Tyler Buckner, nobody bats an eye at Marcus Freeman doing that. But now, Marcus Freeman goes out and gets the top quarterback through the transfer portal. And I think it just sends a very clear message to the rest of college football and really specifically to the fan base of Notre Dame. And Marcus Freeman isn't just here to be notable. He's not just here to have an upset or two every season and put a solid brand out there and play for a bowl game before December 30th and have, a good year, win 8-9 games. Like that's not what he's here to do. Going out and getting the top quarterback from the transfer portal proves that. Because now a lot of eyeballs are on Notre Dame to do some exciting things. So with that out there, let's take a look at the schedule for Notre Dame. There's 3 games here that I have circled, and that's Ohio State, who you get at home. You play USC, and you play Clemson later in the year. These 3 games, I think, will be the toughest test across the board for Notre Dame. And so people say things like, oh, Notre Dame, they're not in a conference. And when they're not in a conference, that narrative usually comes with, well, they don't play anybody. That could not be further from the truth. All 3 of those teams I just mentioned are playoff contenders. And oh, by the way, you play at a good Louisville team who's going to be sneaky, I think, this year. You go and play Navy the first game of the year in Ireland. And I'm not saying Navy's going to beat them. I'm just saying it's tough to open up against that triple option. Like, that's not fun. Also, you're taking a long flight. Like, it's not just an easy walk in the park here for Notre Dame. So I think the floor for Notre Dame, if everything goes to the Dogs, 8 wins. 8-4, worst case scenario for Notre Dame fans. I think the ceiling is somewhere around 11-1. I'm going to go ahead and pick Notre Dame to go 9-3 in 2023. So that's my prediction. That's what I feel comfortable with. I think that's probably the most, safe pick when I talk about Notre Dame. But I also want to make sure I throw this caveat in there. The game changer, the thing that could make Notre Dame a college football playoff team, is if you have an alpha dog step up at wide receiver. And it may very well be on the roster right now. We saw Jaden Greathouse, only a freshman, saw him have a huge spring game. If he steps up and is like a 1,000-yard receiver for you as a freshman, it'd be asking a lot, but I think that could be the difference maker. And there's a couple of names here, and every time we talk about Notre Dame wide receiving core, we always get someone in the comment section saying, you forgot this guy, you forgot that guy. The guy, I'm going to talk about Colsey, Jaden Greathouse, Tobias Merriweather, Jaden Thomas. Like, there's a lot of dudes that could step up. We may not have even mentioned the guy that's going to step up for them, but I'm just saying, if you're able to have someone be the alpha dog on the outside, then you maximize the opportunity to have balance. Then you have someone who can actually stretch the field for you, and you maximize the potential of what Sam Hartman brings to the table, the ACC's all-time touchdown pass leader. Then you're able to have that complement the run game. And you can put more pressure on these teams and let your defense go play a little more fast and free because you're playing with a lead. Like, it's a complementary style of football that would allow you to play. So if they have a big dog step up at wide receiver, I lean a lot closer towards that 11-win number and feeling pretty optimistic about Notre Dame having a chance to make the college football playoff. So it's a big caveat. I want to make sure we throw it out there because that would be the element you add to this operation that could change the whole outlook for Notre Dame. But again, my prediction, 9-3. That's progress for Marcus Freeman. That's progress for Notre Dame. And I truly believe they got the right guy there in South Bend as their head coach. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Less than 100 days now till the sport that we love is back. We're glad to have you here. Keep on tuning in. Make sure you're subscribed. We're going to keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.